learn, I'll give you pads. You do some pad work for some of the guys he trained, the boxers he trained. So I did that for about 3 months, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to open my own little studio just to train I used to run a security company, yeah.
Okay.
So I had all these big guys that I used to train. I used to work for me. So I got a little studio in Finchley, and spent quite a lot of money doing it up. And then I start bringing my security guards, and I used to pad them up. And that's how I learned how to do pads. Shortly after I got that gym, my first studio, I was giving a friend of mine a lift to Ladbroke Grove. It was a one sunny afternoon. As I was driving, I've always driven a Jeep, American Jeeps. I like them, the Lorado.
Okay.
So friend, before we get onto the North Circular Road, I need to get some petrol. So I pulled into an area called Temple Fortune, which is between Golders Green and Finchley.
Okay.
I pulled into a petrol station to get some petrol. As I was putting petrol in my Jeep, I had my colleague who I was giving a lift to. He saw a guy, a big black guy, and he said to the guy, "Are you a boxer?" Because the guy was wearing a Finchley Amateur Club t-shirt.
Yeah.
It was summertime, yeah?
Yeah.
So the guy says, "Yes, I'm a boxer." And my friend said to him, "If you know what's good for you, check my man over there." That man over there being me, putting petrol in my car. Check my man over there, he'll fix you up.
Right.
That chap didn't come to me. He looked at me, I looked at him. And then as he went to pay for his petrol, I went to pay for my petrol at the same time. That chap I'm telling you about, his name is Derek Chisora. That's how I met Derek Chisora, in a petrol.
Right. Is that right?
Absolutely true. So I repeat.
What year was that?
Sorry?
What year was that?
That was 2003.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Right? 2003. So I said to him, so you're a boxer? My friend asked him, I said, "So you're a boxer?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "How old are you?" I think he was 19 years old.
Right.
And I said to him, "How many fights have you had?" He said, 6 amateur fights.
Okay.
And I said, "How have you done?" He said, I've won all of them. I said, "Okay, you must be good then." He said, "Yes, I am good." I said, "All right, cool." I said, "Look, like my friend said to you, if you want to improve your boxing ability, learn some more, you need to check me." He said, "Where's your gym?" I said, "My gym is in Finchley Central." I said, "I've only just actually started to build I've got the space, but I've only just started to build it." He said, "Okay." We exchanged numbers, and I said to him to give me a call. Within a week of meeting him, he called me, and he said, "Can I come to meet you?" And I said, "Definitely." So he came to my gym. Like I said, it wasn't built. I'd already got the space. I was just working in it with my security guards.
So give me some insight, Don. I'm sorry to cut you. You say it wasn't built. So give me some insight. What was actually in the gym?
It was a disused garage. They used to store cars there. It was a sizable space. It's 2,000 square foot. It's quite sizable. But it was a disused, dingy, dark, smelly, horrible, no windows space. It's an underground space, right? So I took it on the premise that I'm going to spend some money to make it habitable, so which I did. So when he came there to have a look at it, I hadn't started doing the building work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all I had one punch bag hanging on a piece of rope. I had one broken mirror leaning on the wall. I used to burn incense to keep up the smell and some of the bad, damp, horrible smell. And when it was on a slope, it was underground. So when it rained, the water used to be flooded with water. So you got the picture?
Yeah, I got it.
You got the picture, right?
Sounds like my old amateur boxing club in DC.
So you can imagine. Right, there you go. So when Derek came in there, he later on, when I got to know Derek well, he said, "Do you know what, Don? When I first came to see you, I thought you was a madman. Because when I came to that gym, I thought, this ain't no gym." All right. So when he came to see me, like an old boxing bag hanging on a piece of rope, just, So he came, we had the meeting. I took a lot of, you've got a lot of power, natural power. You don't have, if you come to me, I will correct your footwork and I'll give you balance. For a big guy, you need to have better upon it. And for the next 24 months, represented the Finchley ABC. Yeah. Okay. He went on to win the novice ABAs the first year of me working, and he went to win the senior ABAs the second year, back to back, right? Okay. And his clubs still weren't aware that he was getting these private sessions. Do you understand, right? Right. So then after that, after he won the ABAs, naturally, he should have been selected to go to the next games, was the Commonwealth Games, right? Okay. Okay. And they snubbed him. The selectors snubbed him, and they chose a chap called David Price. Yeah? Yeah, I know. Now, out of Liverpool. They kept David Price out. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. They kept David Price out of the ABS that particular year because they know that he would have run into Derek, and the chances are Derek would have beaten him, right? Okay. That's my take on it. I could be wrong, but that's my take on it. Okay. They kept Price away from the ABS that particular season, and because Derek won the ABS that season, he beat a chap called Tom Dallas at the finals, yeah? So having not been chosen to go to the Commonwealth Games, he opted to turn professional, Derek Chisora. And he was signed to Frank Warren. He had a coach who had coached him. His amateur coach was a chap called John Oliver, who also coached Anthony Joshua. Okay. Club, right? Okay. So John Oliver was Derek's professional boxing coach when Derek turned professional. Yeah. Mm-hmm. John Oliver was the the chief coach for the first two professional fights that Derek Chisora had. Okay. I was his second. I was his John Oliver's assistant. Okay, got you. Right? Right. After the first two professional fights, something happened in John Oliver's life where he had to resign to go and sort out his private life, right? So I took over. Derek commissioned me to be the head coach. Okay. Yeah. Although I was not experienced. Okay. I got promoted to be the head coach by Derek Chisora. Okay. Okay. So from then on, it was quite being dropped in the deep end, if you know what I mean, because I hadn't coached anybody before. I knew what I was doing, but I'm not, you know what I mean, right? So I started to, I became his first chief coach. And let me fast forward it from there. We were signed to Frank Warren, and we weren't their favorites at the time. So signed a young man called Sam Sexton. Have you heard of Sam Sexton? Heard of Sam Sexton, yep. Right. So Frank Warren signed Derek Chisora, then he signed Sam Sexton, right? Yeah. Two heavyweights. So what happened? After John Oliver had left, we had four fights. Derek had four professional fights, and in his fifth professional fight, they matched us up with Sam Sexton from the same stable, right? Which is quite unusual. Okay. Yeah. Sam had I believe, 7 professional fights prior to meeting Derek.
Okay.
Right? When that fight was made, because I was still new in the industry, I didn't really know who was coming through, who's who. When that fight was made, it got out to the public. The fight has been made between Derek Chisora and Sam. Right.
Right.
I got a phone call from Spencer Fearing.
Okay.
You know Spencer Fearing, right?
Yeah, I've met Spencer once or twice
right.
at 2 fights. Yep.
Right. Coincidentally, he boxed for my amateur club in Brixton, Spencer Fearing.
Okay.
And at the same period that I was there. Anyway, when that fight was made between Derek Chisora and Sam Sexton, I got a phone call from Spencer Fearing saying to me, Don, the kid you've been matched with, don't fight him. Don't let Derek fight him. I said, why?
Keep going.
I said,
can you hear me?
Why? He said to me, because he'll box Derek's head off. Yeah, I can hear you, right? Spencer advised me not to take the, right? And guess what? The next phone call I got was from Tunde Ajayi.
Okay, I know Tunde.
Right? Tunde said to me, Tunde told me that I've heard you've been matched up with, Derek's been matched up with Sam Sexton. I said, that's correct. He said, Don, don't take the fight. I said, why? He said, because he'll box Derek's head off. He's an English international.
Okay.
Right? I said, well, you know me, I'm a stubborn African man. I will take the fight and we will be victorious. Yeah?
Right.
Anyway, we took the fight and it was quite a big thing in the industry at the time, an excitement that Derek Chisora was fighting Sam Sexton, because Sam Sexton was highly, highly, highly touted at the time because he's a bloody good boxer. That's why, right? So I understand. At the time, I didn't know because I didn't know nothing about him.
Right.
We took the fight. It was Derek's first 6-round fight. I predicted that Derek will beat him. People thought I was crazy. I thought not only will he beat him, he will stop him. And guess what? We stopped him in the 6th round.
Wow. Right?
So that's the first time. That's the first time we won. We were victorious. We weren't supposed to win. Afterwards, I found that obviously they didn't think we could win. Right? Right. We won the fight in good fashion. Like this.